Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again, ready to hit you with this year's segment of the state of the AFC East, and we are going to kick it off with none other than the Jets, the much improved Jets. Now, let's take a look back at last year. The Jets finished the year 7-9, and they split the record with the Bills 1-1. And we also remember that the first game was a comeback victory by the good old Bills with a 17-16 win. Now, that game was ugly as heck. However, we put the fortitude together and we brought back the win. Now, here's the deal. A whole season went along. They came back and iced it and won a game against us late in the year. Now, however, it was against the backups. So a 13-6 victory. Y'all can have a little bit of solace in that, but we know that if we put the starters in, it would have been a sweep. Now, nonetheless, this isn't a rag and bag on the Jets because the Jets have very much improved this year. And I'm here to break it down as unbiased as I can and let you guys know how the Jets are going to do. Now, Jets fans, I know you guys are peeping this. If I'm too harsh or if I'm just right, comment below and let me know how y'all feel about how I assess your team, because I think you guys did some really good things. So let's start it off. The 3 stars on the offensive side of the ball starts with Sam Darnold. Now, I am not in the belief that Sam Darnold is a star in this league. Can he be a solid quarterback in this league? Yes. But the love that this man gets, I don't understand it. But he's got a lot of potential. There's a lot of guys that love Sam Darnold. He just doesn't do it for me. However, I have seen some really good things coming out of Sam Darnold. Now, he finished the year with over 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. Not bad, considering that he lost 4 games to mono. Now, however he got that, it's not my business. But the fact of the matter is, it slowed down the Jets. The Jets lost 7 of 9 games to start the season. You can't do enough to push yourself to the playoffs if you're losing games at the beginning of the year. You've got to come out with some W's, and unfortunately, their starting quarterback didn't help the case. Then you had Luke Falk coming in and a whole bunch of things that happened, and it just wasn't good. So Sam Darnold, had he played the whole year, I think it would have been a different outcome for the Jets, but one never knows. Now, Sam Darnold had 2 great back-to-back games against the Raiders and the Redskins. Over 600 yards, 66 completion percentage, a 6 touchdown to 1 interception ratio. You can't go wrong with performances like that. But that was the best 2 games that he's ever put together all year round. So if the Jets want to make something happen for themselves, they've got to have the Sam Darnold that came for those 2 games. Now, moving on to the next star, that's Le'Veon Bell, one of my favorite running backs in the league. Now, Le'Veon did not have his greatest season. Now, he was coming back refreshed, but you're going with a coach that doesn't necessarily value the running back. I mean, let's go back. Le'Veon Bell was a stud when it comes to the Steelers, but when it came to the Jets, it just went downhill. Now, if you look and pay attention to Adam Gase gave the same treatment to Kenyon Drake, and that boy is a star. If Le'Veon wants to have some success, Joe Douglas is going to have to talk to Adam Gase and say, hey, give Le'Veon the ball. He is a star in this league, so stop playing games. Now, his best game was against, ironically, the Ravens, a really good team. And that's when, he's got some familiarity going against the Ravens. 87 yards, 4 yards a carry, and 1 receiving touchdown. Now, here's the deal. All year round, he only averaged 3 yards a carry. That's not going to cut it when it comes to coming into this season, because we know the AFC East is going to be facing a very tough schedule. Now, the Bills, on the other hand, if you want to run against the Bills, you're going to have to do much better than 3.5 yards a carry. So it's not going to cut it. But I still love Le'Veon Bell. I expect big things from him this year, especially with a much improved O-line from the Jets. Lastly, on the offensive side of the ball is Jamison Crowder, receiver, 5'9", 5'10", little speedy guy. He was surprisingly their best receiver. Robbie Anderson was on and off, but Crowder seemed to be a favorite target for Sam Darnold. So hopefully that comes in for them this year, and maybe they can put something together. Everybody stays healthy, and we should be looking out for a much improved Jets offensive team. So look out for the Jets on the offensive side of the ball. let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. Now, there's not a lot of superstars on this team, but there's one guy that stands out. That's the 24-year-old former LSU DB in Jamal Adams. Now, that boy is a star in the making. I don't care what anybody tells me. 6.5 sacks, over 60 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. He is a star. And if the Jets keep playing around and keep toying with this man, he will leave. And he's not about to sign. So y'all better play nice and keep this man on the team, because I would not mind if Jamal Adams took off to go to Dallas or wherever he plans to potentially go. Now, if you guys play nice, you guys can retain him. Now, I know you drafted Ashton Davis. I don't know what the plan is with that, but Jamal Adams is your leader. He is your veteran. He is your dog. Don't play games with him. That is the guy that you want on this team to lead this defense. Moving on to linebacker Jordan Jenkins. 8 sacks last year was his personal best. Now, good for you. I look to see Jordan Jenkins become a better leader, more involved in this defense. And with Greg Williams' defensive scheme and aggressiveness, Jenkins should come in and potentially duplicate what he did last year with the 8 sacks and over 50 tackles. So we look to see what Jenkins can do with this revamped Jets defense. Now, one player that I think that is underrated is Brian Poole, slot corner, as well at 5'10". This guy right here, 71% completion against the coverage. Now that is impressive. He's about what, a top 20, top 25 corner in this league. Now here's the thing. In the zone, he's solid, but when it comes to man-to-man, he's allowing 91% against the pass. Now that is where something he's got to improve, but he is their next best player when it comes to looking at this Jets defense. Quinnen Williams will get there. He didn't have the solid year that we thought he'd have, but I look for Quinnen Williams to do big things the following year. But Brian Poole, big things. I see big things coming, especially if they brought him back to play the slot. The slot is pretty much a third corner starting. So look forward to seeing Brian Poole. Now, when you look at this overall team, what did they gain? What did they lose? Let's go back to free agency. They lost Robbie Anderson. One of the bigger names that they lost was Robbie Anderson. I, as a Bills fan, liked Robbie Anderson. I liked him as a player. I never really enjoyed going up against him because he had some pretty big games against the Bills. However, it just could not work out for them to bring him back to the Jets. So where did he go? He went to the Panthers. Now, looking for $12 to $14 million, I mean, I even considered for the Bills to even look at Robbie Anderson. But when I saw that price tag, I was like, yeah, you know what? Not happening. Y'all can kick rocks. I ain't trying to look at that. And so did the Jets. The Jets they wanted no parts of bringing Robbie Anderson. They tried, but they said, you know what? We good. We're gonna look at the draft to see what we can bring to the draft. Speaking of receiver, they brought in speedster deep threat in Breshad Perriman. Now, whether this is going to be a big pickup for them, I think this is not overly an upgrade. I think this is a downgrade because we don't know. Jets fans don't know what they're going to be getting. Are they going to be getting the bust from years prior, or are they going to be getting the guy that surged at the end of the season with the Bucks? We don't know. So Breshad Perriman is a big question mark, but I see a lot of big things coming to him. Sam Darnold, I think, will work wonders with that type of speed, and we'll see how it goes down with him and Denzel Mims on the other side. Should be fun to see what this offense can bring forward in 2020. Now, they've also revamped the line. With the addition of guard Van Rotten signing a 3-year deal, it could spell the end for longtime guard Brian Winters. Now, look for that individual to be a cap casualty later this season, so we will be keeping an eye on that player and that development between the offensive line and the rest of the guys that they bring in to revamp this old line. Last but not least, they bring in old reliable Frank Gore, the guy that's been all over the damn league. He played for the Miami Dolphins, played for the Buffalo Bills, and now he's playing for the Jets under Adam Gase, where he had the most success in his later career. Now, here's the deal. With Frank Gore spelling Le'Veon Bell, I think they want a little bit of toughness. They want a little bit of showing some veteran leadership, because look what that did for Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary was in Frank Gore's hip pocket. Wherever Frank Gore went, you saw Devin Singletary. So maybe that's what Adam Gase wanted to see with Le'Veon Bell, especially because Le'Veon Bell had such a downgrade of a year. So look for Frank Gore to up the game of Le'Veon Bell, and hopefully it'll be a nice little 1-2 tandem. Now, he is 35, 36 years of age. Will he finish the season? Who knows? He's a future Hall of Famer. That's all that matters to me. So good luck, Frank Gore. You were a beast when you were at Buffalo. You started the year strong, and then Devin Singletary did what he had to do. And y'all know what it is. It's just what it is, and that's that. Now, when you look at who you guys lost Robbie Anderson and you lost Tremaine Johnson. Now, Tremaine Johnson, I don't know how that didn't work out for you guys. You guys gave him big money and it just didn't work out. And it sucks because that's a lot of money you guys lost. Now, Tremaine Johnson is gone. I don't even think he's signed yet, but you brought in a slew of players, right? Ashton Davis, you brought in Bryce Hall. So this is a nice revamped defensive team. Now, you got to give kudos to Joe Douglas, man, because Mike Maccagnan did not do you any justice, man. This guy was left, right, center, wanted this, it just didn't work out for you. Now, Joe Douglas seems to know what the hell he's doing, and you can see by what he's brought in this year in the draft. When you bring in big boy and Mekhi Becton, you bring in a Denzel Mims, you bring in a Bryce Hall, you bring in a LaMichael Perrine. Listen, y'all got some good players in this draft, so kudos to Joe Douglas, because Maccagnan, with the way he was running the squad, man, yo, Woody Johnson, I believe that's your owner, was like, you know what? I've had enough of this mess. I want you out. Joe Douglas has had some success with Adam Gase when they were back in Chicago. So this could be a marriage that is supposed to work. Now, my man Adam Gase, don't screw this up. They gave you a nice little roster. Don't mess this up, because if you can't put something together with this team that they put together for you, bro, I can't see Adam Gase lasting another year or two. Now, he has the ability to make this team something special, because you got a young quarterback, you got a young receiver, you know what I'm saying? You got a nice little defense on your hand with a veteran defensive coordinator. I can't see you guys screwing this up. So, when it comes to the Jets of 2020, I see a very improved team. I see a team that's going to have some major success, barring any injury, and it should be a fun AFC East. The AFC East is not a given. Just because you know who left to go to the NFC East, it doesn't mean that we own anything. The Bills, the Jets, and the Miami Dolphins have all improved, and this should be a fun AFC East. I'm telling you right now, I'm sad that the rest of the competition has gotten better, but it makes the whole league and the division fun to watch. It's going to be a damn rivalry every time that we face each other. So, Jets fans, talk to me. Did I miss anything? I hope you guys respect that. I'm trying to give y'all some love, but it's gonna be fun, man. I look forward to seeing what y'all put together, and if you guys stay safe and stay healthy, it should be real fun. But guess what? We've been knocking on the door to win that damn division now, so I think this might be the year. But you little pesty dudes, man, you guys are gonna try to get in our way, so I hope it doesn't happen. So, Jets fans, tell me how you feel about this video. Did I nail it? If I did, share this thing all over the place. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, because all year round is going to be like this. This is what I do, and we'll go from there. For the Bills fans that's watching, you scared of the Jets? Are they putting something together? Or do we combat that with our own free agency, with our own draft, and everything else? I think we did. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We look forward to it. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all had fun. This is the AFC East breakdown. It's the state of the AFC East, the Jets edition. Tell me what you think. Smash that like, subscribe to the page, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's RealRico_BF. Hit everything Buffalo Fanatics. It's your boy, and I'm gone.